University is a whole new experience, and this new experience can turn very bad or very good depending on the choices that you make. Now in this video, I want to talk about 6 ideas that I wish I knew when I was in my first year. Some of these ideas are things that I have done that have worked out for me, and some of these ideas are I wish I knew when I was in my first year. So if you're interested, let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Pushkar and I'm a student in Ahmedabad University. Now I haven't released a video for so long, and I can say that I was busy, but mostly I was procrastinating. But anyway, the first idea is explore, explore and explore. Explore new ideas, explore new people and explore new ways of living. Now until now, we have always been in a place where we are surrounded by people similar to us. So when you are in school, each school has its own fee structure and has its own locality. So people who are similar to you only attend that school. And in family and in school and the apartment that you live in, everywhere you are surrounded by people like you. So you've never been exposed to different ways of living. But when you come to university, things drastically change. You're going to meet people whose upbringing was totally different. You're going to meet people whose way of life, whose ideas are totally different than yours. And I would say that don't hold back. Don't just make friends and don't just hang out with people who are like you. Go and hang out with people who are nothing like you. Go and talk to people. Go and try to understand people who are totally different and whose approach to life has been totally different than yours. Now what does it do to you? So we've always been taught one way of living, right? We learn it from our parents, we learn it from the school that we go to. Now the thing is that we tend to believe that this is the truth. This is how you should live. But when you meet new people, your perspective increases, your horizon increases, and you understand that this is my way of living and there are different ways of living too. And then you can understand that what's the best thing for you to do. So go and meet new people, go and try to understand their own perspective of life. And you don't have to be like anyone, but you should try and understand their perspective. And so the next idea is have some ground-based habits. Now, until now, your life was pretty much structured. Now, I don't know about the people who in COVID, but when I was in school and when I was in 11th and 12th, my life was pretty structured. You had to wake up at a certain time, you have to go to school, and then you have to come back, do your homework or go to play and go to classes and then sleep at a particular time. When you live at your home, this is how your routine is. But when you move out, when you come to university or you're living in a hostel or living in a flat, that's where there are no constraints, right? No one is telling you what to do and no one is telling you what not to do. So this is when life can get pretty messy and chaotic. Now, if you're someone like me who wants to do something in their life and wants to make college the most productive years of their life, having some ground-based habits can help. Now, what are ground-based habits? Now, this is just a term coined by me, but ground-based habits are the things that you do every single day which keep you in track, which keep you aligned to your goals. Now, this can be very simple things, this can be just working out in the morning or going for an evening walk or listening to a podcast while you travel to the university. So something that you do every single day which will keep you in a single routine. Now why this is important is when you come to university, a lot of things will be changing from here and there. So if you have a simple basic routine in place, this will take care of your mental and physical health. Now the third idea is learn one skill and get really good at it. Now when we are in university, we are what people call a time billionaire. We have a lot of time, we have a lot of energy, but we don't have the right place where we can put that energy. So we end up just watching movies or doing other things which are not the most productive. Not saying that watching movies is wrong, but sometimes you need to put your energy into more productive things, right? So I would say that learn one skill. This is what I did and it really helped me. And if you learn a skill, it's going to do wonders for you. You can get into freelancing, you can get into various clubs with that skill, you can earn money from that skill. And the most important thing is a lot of times you have a lot of free time, and then that is where you can practice your skill and then create some value for other people and also make money for yourself. Learning one skill is one thing that I do and I'm very proud of that I did it and it really helped me. Now you can learn any skill that you want to, any skill that you're curious about. You can maybe learn writing, coding or design, whatever. I would suggest start with design because that is a simpler and an easier option. But it depends upon you. Whatever you're curious about, whatever you want to learn, go and learn that skill and then keep practicing it. So the fourth idea is start sharing your learning and your experiences and start writing online. Now this is something that I wish everyone had done. So when you come to university, you will be encountering something new every single day. Maybe it's a new person that you meet, maybe it's a new way of living that you learned, maybe it's some concept in the university that people have taught you, maybe you experience something new. So new experiences are all around, right? So that is where, and people say that you learn by having new experiences, but I don't think that's true. I think that you learn by having new experiences and reflecting on them, and that is where the writing online part comes into the picture. And what you write online doesn't have to be specific or doesn't have to be academic or very polished. Just write any new idea that you come up with, write something that your professor told you, write something that you observe. Like, you can write almost anything. This is your blog. Like, just write anything. It doesn't have to be academic or doesn't have to be like publishable. Just keep writing. And so you might be asking, like, what would writing do for you, right? And see, there are a lot of reasons to write online, and one of the main reason is clear thinking. So a lot of times we think that we know something or the thought is clear in our head, but when you start to write something down, that's where you understand your knowledge gap. That's where you understand that the thing that is so clear in your head is not actually clear with you. It's just that your mind is just completing the gap. So when you write, you're almost forced to think clearly. You're almost forced to think critically, and that's where clear thinking comes into picture. Writing also clarifies your thought. So to give you an example, let's say that there's a festival, right? Your room, no matter how clean it is, somewhere or the other messy in some ways, right? But when there is a festival at your house, and then when your relatives visit your house, that's where you clean your room. So that is what happens when you write. In your head, maybe the ideas seem clear, but they are messy. But when you write them down, that's where you clarify your ideas, and that's where you clarify your thinking too. This is why I tell people to start writing online. I do it and it has done wonders for me, and I wish you would do it too. You can go to things like Medium, Substack or WordPress, and you can start there. I would suggest start with Substack because then people can easily subscribe. But then a good investment would also be like making your own website and start writing online. So if you are interested in having your own website, which is not something like pushkar.wordpress.com, but let's say pushkar.in or pushkar.com, something like that. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll make like a 25-30 minutes video on getting started to having your own complete blog, and that should be enough to get started. So yeah, start writing online. And if I had to pick just one tip from this entire video, I would pick that: start writing online. The fifth idea is that you should have some proof of work for the course that you take. Now, the basic idea is that when you take a course, let's say you take a course in economics, or let's say you take a course in psychology, or let's say you take a course in computer vision. Now, by the end of the course, you should have one project that displays your skills. So if you have computer vision, maybe you take a computer vision project and make a course on it. If you have economics, maybe you can take a data from a country and analyze all the economic variables. So the main idea is that you should have some concrete proof of work for the course that you take, and this will give you the real experience on your subject, and this will really help you stand out of the crowd that comes into the university. I will talk more about this in a future video, but if you're already watching this in the future, the video should be somewhere here in the screen. So the last idea would be to go and network with seniors. Now, one of the main advantages to coming to college is meeting new people, right? It's meeting people who are also moving towards in the same direction as you. And while there is a lot of learning that happens in the classroom and happens when you go and meet the professors, there is a lot more you can learn from seniors. There's a lot more you can learn from people who have already been on that path as you. So go and talk to seniors, go and network to seniors. Now, even though I'm saying the word networking, I don't want you to think about this as a business sense, that it's something that you have to do. For me, networking is like when you hear people talking about the topic that you like, or when you hear people, or when you find someone who's also interested in the same thing, just go and talk to them, have a friendly chat and make them your friends. That's what is networking for me. So don't think of networking like something that you have to do, or you just add people on your LinkedIn connections and so on. Just go talk to people, make them your friends, and learn and explore and grow together. So these were my 6 ideas. And of course, there is a lot more learning and there's a lot more ideas which you would have to do in your first year, and I hope that some things are also surprise for you. So yeah, that was it for today's video, and if you're curious about how to start a blog, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on how to start blogging and start writing online. And yeah, that was it for today's video. Stay ambitious, stay curious and stay weird. I'll see you next time.